Very good evening to you and welcome to this launch of It Can't Be You. Before we start, I'd like to invite the Rockford folks to hand over bouquets to the author, Prem Rao, and to Mr. Subrata Bharti, who is our chief guest for this evening. So his wish to translate this thing into reality, and today what you're seeing before yourself, was actually this National Novel Writing Month that he attended in 2009. And it was here that he wrote the first 50,000 words that form the foundation of this great book that he's produced and to which we are all here today.
There you are. Thank you, Shobna. Thank you. So I guess this comes to be wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Somebody from the Defence Service. I've always been a very passionate admirer of the Defence Services, as is evident from the book. And I told myself that if one day I write a book, then the very first recipient should be one. It is in that spirit that I would request Shubhra to hand over the first book to somebody whom I think epitomizes the service. Right in the beginning, it starts by saying the man was dead. Of that there was no doubt. His family gathered around in shocked silence, broken only by the loud ticking of the clock in the hallway. They were buried in their own thoughts. It was now the early hours of a new morning. Who would have thought that such a pleasant evening could have ended like this? It was slowly sinking in that Lieutenant Colonel Belliappa, Indian Army retired, known popularly as Belly, was no more. He had not lived to see his 55th birthday. And then it goes on, and here's how I stumbled upon the title of the book, It Can't Be You. They discover this body, and it goes on to say, in place of the rows of metal ribbons that normally decorated his left chest lay a stream of puke. There was a strange smell in the room, a mixture of alcohol, vomit, and death. Shefali, who had rushed there in her nightgown, was the first to observe the note on her father's writing table. It was a large-sized post-it, the kind the colonel favored to write his orders and paste them all over the house. The black ink, which the colonel always favored, had scarcely dried on the post-it. The note looked up almost accusingly at the group, staring at it in shock. The colonel's first few words appeared to have been written in haste, not in his clinically clean, stylized handwriting. The last few words fell into an almost undecipherable scrawl, which they could scarcely make out. It was almost illegible, but it did look like the colonel had written, "It can't be you." Spoke when drinking something? Was it something he drank that had made him choke? Had he killed himself? What could have made him end his life like that? Or had someone else killed him? Was he taken by surprise? Why hadn't anyone heard noises of a struggle? How could anyone sneak in with Rolf let loose at night in the compound? Or did it mean that the killer was one of them? The lights from the modem linked to the computer on the colonel's table blinked as if they knew the answer.
Very nice. Very nice.
The rest of it is here. Thank you so much. Time over here in Bangalore, India, but logging in and following us are not only people who are tweeting about this, but also people in different parts of the world. There are guys who got up at 5 o'clock in San Francisco. My son Nitin and his friends in Boston, it's 8 a.m. there, and some guys who stuck on till very nearly midnight in faraway Sydney, Australia. So guys, thank you very much. And, we're very happy to have you with us. I'm also pleased to say that you can also reach out and log into Amazon.com to download this onto your Kindle or iPad or whatever, and the link will be provided very soon. The book, because I had heard that a few people, not too many, but a few people do convert their nano efforts into novels. So I did that, and Cedar were good enough to agree to publish, and I made it about 81,000 words, and I'm arguably the first person from out of India to have a debut novel published from a debut effort in NaNoWriMo. As Shubert was mentioned to you, I'm already on my way for the second Nano. It's called Lucky for some 13, but we'll meet again some other time for a similar function like this, Shubert.